So how does one invent an art form that no one else has ever seen before? Well, long before it hits the street, it hits the drawing table. Engineering, designing, mechanicals, conceptuals, sketches, more sketches, redesigning, reinventing, solving problems that, as far as I know, no one else has ever had to solve before. Then finally manipulating materials, perhaps in a manner that they'd never been manipulated before. And at every stage of the process, thinking like an artist, reimagining, reconceptualizing, solving problems, thinking not only like an engineer, but also like a sculptor. How is this going to feel? How is this going to look to the viewer? Early in the process, I got my community involved, people of my city. I said, step in this chalk, leave your mark, the marks of real people on this linen. Then we took this high-quality linen and glued it to PVC panels. Gave it a couple coats of gesso. I told my helpers it should last 1,000 years. And we took pressure-treated lumber, stained it to get just the right patina. Then, after months of preparation, a small army of friends joined me, and together we measured and drilled and hammered and pushed and pulled and lifted the art project from concept to reality. I encouraged each of my friends to bring their own problem-solving skills to the process. Is there a better way to do this? Better engineering, better artistic solution? And as the day slowly darkened into night, we finished the art machine. Marked and labeled each individual piece, and then took it apart and loaded it on a truck. We drove it halfway across the country, and there in Grand Rapids, Michigan, another group of friends spent most of an afternoon helping me put it back together. Every panel level and secure against wind and rain, and ready for me to begin painting. Over the next 19 days, I painted an average of about 12 hours a day, while roughly 200,000 people came by to watch. The first thing I did was produce 7 meta-images related to Grand Rapids and to Michigan. Images that came into focus only when you stood on the designated square. And then, partly because I wanted to give myself the greatest challenge possible, I began doing portraits on every single panel. I ended up doing 66 of them. People who'd come by at ArtPrize to watch me work. Here then is a sampling of those portraits, beginning with my wife. I want to make sure I get that one right. And here's Ryan, and Amanda, Annette, Becky, and another Becky. Ryan and his son, Christian, Carmen, Rachel and Paul, myself, Angie, Chris, and so on and so on. What an honor it was to interact with each face and each person, everyone with their own life and their own story. And here are some of the hidden images that came into alignment only when you stood in one of the designated squares. The map of Michigan, a portrait of President Gerald R. Ford, who was, of course, from Grand Rapids, and then the sculpture that has become the icon and symbol of downtown Grand Rapids since the mid-70s by Alexander Calder. This image covered approximately 33 panels. A man carving furniture, a nod to the history of Grand Rapids, the city skyline, and a view of the city that you saw when you turned around and looked the opposite direction from my art project. Throughout the entire 3 weeks, I had some of my favorite music playing, which led to some really special moments with a lot of special people. Thanks for watching. Please visit my website or leave a comment on this YouTube video.